welcome back to my channel. My name is Emily and I hope you all are doing awesome. So today we'll be continuing my Pride Month video series on various LGBTQIA identities. In my last video, we introduced the topic of sexual orientations in which people experience little to no sexual attraction. We talked about demisexuality, or an orientation that describes a person who only feels sexual attraction to someone after they develop an emotional or romantic bond or connection with a person. Today we're going to continue talking about identities on the asexuality spectrum. Remember from last time that we discussed that sexuality is on a spectrum with people who never experience sexual attraction at one end and with people who experience sexual attraction at the other. Some people may find that they fall somewhere in the middle. Maybe they find that they experience sexual attraction sometimes, but not all of the time. Or they rarely experience sexual attraction. Or maybe they experience sexual attraction to a lesser degree than it seems that most people do. Or maybe sexual attraction isn't an important concept to them, or they have confused or ambiguous feelings towards sexual attraction, with experiences of sexual attraction being difficult to define or pin down. These people who find themselves in between the two ends of the spectrum may identify as gray asexual, graysexual, or grace. Gray asexual is a sexual orientation that describes a wide range of experiences, and each person who uses this label to identify themselves has different experiences with sexual attraction. It's a very idiosyncratic or personal label, and no two gray asexuals are the same. Just as we discussed when talking about demisexuality, gray asexuals may have differing attitudes towards engaging in sexual behaviors. Anyone can engage in sexual behaviors without experiencing sexual attraction. You can still be gray asexual and have sex, be sex repulsed, enjoy sex, watch porn, masturbate, or have kinks or fetishes. Gray asexuals simply just find that they're somewhere in the gray area between being asexual and sexual, sometimes called allosexual or non-asexual. You may be wondering how being gray ace is different than being demisexual. Remember that demisexual is a specific identity that describes a sexual orientation in which a person only experiences sexual attraction after specific conditions have been met, namely after they develop an emotional connection with someone. Gray asexual is used to refer to any experience of sexual attraction that is neither completely asexual nor completely allosexual or completely sexual. It does not define which gender or genders a person is sexually or romantically attracted to, or which gender or genders a person engages in sexual or romantic partnerships with. A gray asexual may find that when they do experience sexual attraction, it's primarily towards a particular gender or genders, or they may desire romantic relationships with a particular gender or genders regardless of sexual attraction and experiences. As we've talked about before, these nuanced identities are important in helping people to describe their particular experiences with sexual attraction in the most accurate way possible. Only you can decide if the label of gray asexual fits for you. Remember that a polite dialogue with your partner, child, friend, loved one, etc. can help you understand what this idiosyncratic identity means to them. Be sure to first ask them if it's okay for you to ask about how they personally define gray asexual, to avoid putting unnecessary stress on your loved one. Making sure that they have the emotional resources that day to discuss such a personal topic is very important. It can be tiring having to explain or define your identity to someone, even if they have the best of intentions. Be patient with your loved one and be respectful and accepting. Remember that there's nothing wrong with gray asexuals and that they're not broken, inhuman, or going through a phase. Gray asexuals simply feel somewhat asexual, but not entirely asexual. They find that they fall somewhere in between on the sexuality spectrum. I hope that this video has been helpful to you and that you've learned something. Know that I always link my sources in the description box down below so that you can check out more information on what I'm talking about should you choose to. So if you'd feel like you would like more information on gray asexuality, feel free to check out the links below. As always, I also have links to coming out resources, resources for finding LGBT+ affirmative therapists, and numbers for crisis and suicide hotlines. If you're considering suicide, please call a crisis hotline or call 911. You are worth it, and suicide is never the answer. That being said, I hope everyone enjoyed this video. I hope you learned something. In the next video, we're going to be discussing asexuality, and I can't wait to see you guys then. Thanks for watching. Have a good rest of your day, guys. Bye-bye.